What's going on, everybody? Leo here from Daddy's Game Time, your friendly show about gaming, movies, and pop culture. As always, I'm accompanied with...
What's going on, everybody?
Rick.
Leo here from
What's
Daddy's
going
Game
on,
Time,
man?
your
How you
friendly
been?
show about
Pretty good.
gaming,
How about
movies,
you?
and pop
I'm doing pretty good.
As always, I'm accompanied
We're having some technical difficulties in
What's
our
going on, man?
headphones here.
Pretty good. How about you?
I'm doing pretty good.
We're still
having
getting
some
difficulties.
technical
You just
difficulties
mute
in our...
or turn the volume down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry about
So,
that, guys. We're
we're gonna
doing
keep
some
it
new
going. We're gonna keep it
a
going.
new setup here. So in the testing phase, we everything seemed legit and everything looked like it was going to be working properly. But I don't know if you can hear that feedback or that double voiceover that we got going there. So sorry about that if that's actually happening, but hopefully that corrected it there.
Mhm.
And with that, let's get on with our show.
Yeah, man. Some exciting stuff has been happening lately. This past couple days, actually, it was announced again more Nintendo Switch rumors. We're having some, I guess, specs being leaked out regarding the Nintendo Switch, and so one of the major things that they're talking about is, as we already know, the Nintendo Switch is powered by the Tegra chip, and the Tegra chip is a chip that's been out on some of the home devices that NVIDIA has released already, especially like the Shield tablet or the Shield home console, I guess, if that's what you want to call it. It's very, I guess you could say, ancient by standards of what technology is and how fast computer technology progresses, especially when it comes to video games, to graphics, to this whole world where we live looking towards the future, not behind us. But Nintendo has different plans, apparently. Nintendo, the leak was that the Tegra chip is in fact some sort of modified version of the one that's already in the Shield tablets. And the Shield tablets operate at about a 1 teraflop, just under a teraflop of computing power. For those of you out there, like for example, the PS4 Pro operates at just over 4 teraflops. The PlayStation 4, I think, operates at close to 2 teraflops, or just over 2 teraflops. This Nintendo Switch would be operating at about 1 teraflop. Once it's docked, they're saying that once you undock it from the dock station, then its performance is coming down on the GPU side, because the CPU has to perform the same whether it's docked or not. The GPU, which is the graphic processing unit, that is going to be operating at only 40% less.
So as it is with these, from what I'm understanding, when it's docked in that little shuttle station, it's going to operate at 1/4 the power of what the PS4 is more or less at. 1 versus 4.
Yeah.
Is that what you were saying, right?
So the PS4 Pro.
The Pro, yes. I'm sorry, the Pro.
Yeah.
So once you undock it, it knocks it down another 40%.
Yeah.
So essentially, you want to play it if you want to maximize the potential.
The computing power of
right.
it, you want to play it at a docked station. So, and even so, you're not really going to be getting optimal gaming.
Right.
You're getting see what could we even consider 1 teraflop? It's like maybe 1.5 PlayStation 3s put together. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong out there, folks. Let me know.
I feel like we need Doc Brown coming in and talking about gigawatts and giving us a little tutorial.
Yeah. Well, there's lots of details out there. I'm not gonna get too much into them, but
But I mean,
that's pretty much the gist of it. And the reason why Nintendo wants to do this is pretty obvious. They want to save battery life consumption.
Yes.
They don't, because you know that the Tegra chip or the Shield from Nvidia, it operates, I think, at about 12 volts, because that is a home console plugged into your home electricity.
Right.
And if you're gonna take it on the go, it has to
Well,
operate.
it has to, because it has to operate off of a battery.
It has to
doesn't
operate
have
off of a
power
battery,
supply.
and typically that's the target is around 4 volts
Yeah.
or 6, something
I mean-
something very low, because it's a battery.
I mean, if you consider it, I mean, a tablet or a smartphone, as they are right now, even with a beefier battery that gives you more hours, excuse me. You notice that the same thing when you're playing just
Right.
videos and a couple of games and whatnot with all your apps running. You can kind of determine the battery usage. You know, people that use it regularly will know that how long their battery is going to last. Now, if you had a console that was doing beefier, higher resolutions and better performance, that battery is going to only last you an hour tops, because of just all that processing power that it has to go through. So I get that. On the other end, we know that Nintendo doesn't really do heavy on the graphics for first-person shooters like PS4 and or Sony or Microsoft does.
Right.
They don't get that detailed, that involved. So this just kind of falls in line with the general audience that they have and the type of games that they release. Cell shading, for example, it looks beautiful, but it's not as detailed as all these higher resolutions, even 4K displays now that you have for Call of Duty and all these other futuristic gamings where visual effects are what sell.
And you know
it.
what? I get it. Nintendo is going after a different market share than the Microsofts and the Sonys of this world. They're not in the graphics arms race in it to win it anymore like they used to be. And I mean, I understand that. What I don't understand is why go with an older architecture. They're going, I think, with the new architecture is what, Pascal, is that correct?
I think so, yes.
And I think they're going with an older architecture than that. And there's a new one where it's, I think, 33% more powerful, and it operates on, I think, 40% less battery consumption. The chip, it's a lot more compact. Yes, it's more expensive, but I think they could have done something like that and released a decent console specs wise and also battery wise life. It would have kind of, in a way, killed two birds with one stone. Obviously, I think what they're going for is budget.
Yeah.
I think they're probably shooting for a console that's going to cost you $200 or $250. But what I'm saying is, if it's $250, they better include a brand new game with it, and I mean a full game, not like no Wii Sports.
Wii
It's more
Sports
like a demo. Really,
has an estimated value been released as far as what the console, the Switch, will be?
No, but a lot of the experts are saying that they believe they're shooting for a $250 price tag, considering what it does and considering the hype it's going to have at release. But realistically, if you look at what is inside, if these rumors are true, and so far every single rumor leaked has turned out to be true for the most part, at least from this source, then and this was actually the specs that were leaked and then confirmed. They were confirmed by Digital Foundry, which if you haven't seen their YouTube channel, go check it out. They have a lot of cool tech stuff on there, and they definitely know what they're talking about. They're definitely great engineers, software engineers and hardware engineers there that they got working.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot to it. I mean, we're obviously not engineers. We're not sales professionals that research all this product and material and equipment that's going into these units. So they have to have a reason. We could only speculate what we think they're going for.
Right.
But I mean, in all reality, to me, like how I said prior to when initially the Switch was released, when we were informed of basically what it was, to me it just seemed like it was a glorified Wii U console, like a tablet version of that.
It pretty much is what the Wii U should have been,
Right.
and I think that they're gonna learn some lessons, but they're also gonna have more growing pains as well with this new technology, if in fact it is as underpowered as the leaks say it will be. So there you have it. I mean, I'm disappointed with Nintendo, but I'm hoping for the best. We'll see what happens. Rick, have you seen the new Spider-Man trailer?
I have.
Bow.
I've actually Spider-Man. Oh,
This
you
is-
totally psyched me
This
out
is
on that
not.
one.
This
is not
the new
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man trailer.
This is Rogue One,
Rogue One, man.
and I have not seen the movie, but I believe you have.
Yes, I saw Rogue One this weekend, and almost
No spoilers. So,
any.
so
Yeah,
you
no,
don't
this
have-
is
you
not
don't
going
have
to be
worry
a
about.
spoiler edition, but I just have to say, it's kind of rough in the beginning.
Mhm.
It's kind of rough. You can tell that they went back and had to fix a lot of stuff that they weren't happy with,
Mhm.
and they kind of had to do a rush job on it.
So-
in terms of the editing and the pacing of the film,
Mhm.
it shows that they kind of didn't have the time to kind of just iron out all the little details of it. It seemed kind of rush at times, and then other times it went kind of slow. It just the pacing of it was kind of off, and I mean I try to stay away from the trailers for the most part because I want it to go in fresh, like
Get the
not
full
knowing
glory of it.
anything about the film. Try to have as little expectations as possible.
Yeah.
And but people are saying that it's very different, the synopsis of it, from what they were led to believe from the trailers. So, I mean, I have no idea what that is, or if it's a good thing, or if it's a bad thing. However, I do think it's one of the best Star Wars films ever made. It's if you take off like the first act or the first half, and you just kind of like splice it a little bit better, take out all the fat, trim it off and all that. Yeah, man, this is a great film. My biggest gripe with it was that the characters in it, none of them really were as charming as they are in the rest of the Star Wars films, except for one robot. You see him right there on screen. That robot is probably the most humane person, the best actor in the whole film.
Well, I mean that has to be a lot more into just the way that the actor portrayed him. You're talking about we have years and years of Star Wars history going back to our youth, watching these characters over and over and over, and remakes and different editions and re-releases, and it kind of just sinks in. This is the core of Star Wars,
Right.
And when something different happens, you just have to like, no, that's not Star Wars.
I think the biggest thing about the charm of the characters in the original films is that back in the 70s and 80s, there was a different method to acting than there is now. Now it's a lot more subtle, so they can't be as flamboyant or expressive as they used to be back in those days. And I think if some of these characters would stop being so serious all the time and be a little bit more like flamboyant, more just bodacious, it would make it for just go for it. Even if it might sound silly at times, just go for it and go for it in a big way. And I think that's kind of what made the classic characters work so well, is that they were so out of this world, where these characters are a little bit more grounded in reality and whatnot. And it works by today's film standards, but people are going to compare these to the classics, and I think that's probably one of the things that is a weakness for it. But at the same time, it's like I can forgive that weakness because it's very well acted. It's very well. The second half of the film is very well executed. I don't know exactly what parts they changed, but if I had to put money on it, I would say it was just in the first act of the film that they had to make a lot of changes because
Just unneeded scenes.
yeah, because the last act of this film is one of the best in Star Wars cinema history, I think.
No,
It's really, really well
definitely
done.
looks like there's a lot of action in it. Well, I keep forgetting timeline wise. Where does this fit within the sequence of the Star Wars?
This
film?
fits right before Episode 4,
Okay,
right
So-
before the original,
right.
A New Hope.
So, being that this came out, this is the latest Star Wars movie, and there's a lot of old Star Wars fan base, and now there's new because of the recent release of Episode 7. I keep forgetting the name. The Force Awakens.
Right.
So there's the new fan base and the old fan base. Do you think this kind of hits both to kind of?
Oh, it's definitely a crowd pleaser, I think.
Yeah?
It's definitely a crowd pleaser. Whereas Episode 7 was going almost exclusively for pleasing the crowd and feeding off of that nostalgia by feeding you those classic characters, feeding you all the classic vehicles that they're in, the classic locations. This one kind of strays away a little bit from that and tries to tell its own thing and tries to make it kind of dark and gritty at times. But then at times it does have that comic relief coming from the very, very well, great performance from that robot, that android. It was really, really a breath of fresh air, I think, in a film where everybody seemed like they were kind of busy just trying to be dark, and try to be gritty. And try
So
to
kind of
be
adding a little bit of
grounded.
lightness into the
Right,
kind of
right.
the mix. Before we move on, I just wanted to say to my buddy Nate, he's asking if R2D2 fits somewhere specifically that I'm not going to say. The only thing I'm going to say is R2D2 only fits on top of the X-Wing as Luke's co-pilot. That's where he fits. All right.
All right, and shout outs to my buddy Chris Silva out there watching. Thanks for the compliment on the sweater. Check it out.
Bling! You need to have a little button that you can press or like in your pocket, and then the little block lights up or something. I mean the star. That would be so awesome. Anyways, moving
Yeah.
on.
Also, a brand new trailer for a brand new film that's coming up here pretty soon. We have, bam, brand new trailer for.
Well, it's not brand new.
Spider-Man.
It's been released probably about 2 weeks now, I think, more or less.
Well, yeah. I guess so. Yeah,
December
it has been
9th.
2 weeks.
8 or
Just
9,
that I
something like
didn't
that.
see this trailer until I went to the movie theater this weekend to watch Rogue One.
Was that by choice? Or
And that was my first time seeing the trailer. Because as you know, I'm kind of done with trailers. I'll usually just, out of my own will, I'll look at a trailer if it's something I really, really love, or if the movie's about to release. Because I'm done with waiting, man. I used to wait like forever for a film to come out. And then by the time it would come out, I was just done. I didn't want to see it or anything. So that's kind of like my current state of watching trailers.
Even though I don't fully agree with that, I understand what you're talking
Yeah.
about. But there was actually two trailers. There's this one, and then there's the international one. I think
Okay,
this is the regular
okay.
one. I think I can't really remember. It's been a while since I've seen both of them to compare them. I think essentially it's almost the exact same thing. They just changed a couple of little things here and there.
Okay.
I remember the music was different between the two. But other than that, it's essentially the same thing. It's kind of showing you the same scenes and the same iconic poses and stuff that he does, kind of giving you the layout of it.
Yeah.
But Spider-Man, I'll have to admit, this kid looks like he fits the bill better.
Yeah.
He looks like a teenager. He talks, acts, seems like he's legit a teenager, whereas the other ones were adults portraying teen kids. The previous one with Andrew
Galifianakis.
no, Garfield?
Yeah, Garfield.
So I think that's his name. I think he did a decent Spider-Man.
I liked him as Spider-Man. He was edgy. He was quick-witted. He did a lot of things right.
Those,
However, I think that the original Spider-Man, what's his name?
Toby?
Tobey Maguire that portrayed him. He had a really nice innocence to him, I think. And I think this guy, at least aesthetically, kind of brings that back. He has like this, like
I think he has
classic, look to himself,
Right.
and there's a certain innocence that he portrays just because he's so young and still kind of green, to the whole
I think
crime fighting.
other
scene.
than this trailer, the only other things that we've actually really seen him in was those the fight scenes in Captain America, and I think he actually does portray that. He does show his teenage, kind of mentally developed. He's still struggling for his identity and
Right.
Figuring out his power kind of deal. Where you saw where Tony Stark was helping him out and this and that, right? So I think he does portray that innocence of a child, but he does seem to have some of those quips, those comebacks, those little snarky remarks. Where what you were saying that Toby wasn't really doing. He had that innocence that like, Aunt May, he seemed that he portrayed that innocence, but he didn't have those comebacks. At least I didn't feel that he did. The Andrew character, he did have more of those comebacks, those snarky remarks, but not the innocence.
Yeah,
I think so. It's
the Andrew
reverse.
Garfield didn't have the innocence for sure.
And I think
And I think this guy's the whole package. He's a
so
little
far
bit of both.
So far, yes.
He has the wits about him, and he has that innocence about him as well. And come on, that costume he's wearing, it's got to be the best Spider-Man costume
I've got
seen.
I've got no
It's so nice looking.
I've got no beef with that costume. I think it looks good. It's not the traditional Spider-Man costume because it has those little black bands or something, whatever. You saw towards the end or middle where he opened up his arms and he had the web wings.
Right.
So that's part of also his costume that I like that they included. All these little details that I think make it what it is.
Right.
But I got nothing against it. And I think it looks good. I feel good about this movie. To my understanding, Marvel made it, but Sony's paying the bill kind of deal.
Yeah.
So Marvel is putting their touch to it. It's not the Sony touch.
Right.
I like that. Marvel has been doing a kick-A job with putting superheroes in these roles, fitting them to some degree almost the exact way that the comic book portrayed.
Yeah.
And I like that. And I definitely like where this is going.
Yeah, definitely. It's something to be excited for sure. We now live in a world where Spider-Man is going to be able to tangle with some of the other Marvel superheroes that are not part of Sony's roster.
Yep.
So that's really cool.
Sorry,
now,
Andrew.
I don't mean to bring up a downer again, Nintendo. But I mean, come on, guys.
Pick up the pace.
Come on, guys. Seriously. Again, Nintendo rumors are swirling. This time, they're saying that
Excuse me.
Zelda Breath of the Wild has been canceled. Now, it's unofficial. It's been canceled for the Nintendo Wii U. Rick, do you know why I bought a Wii U? Do you know why I bought a Wii U?
Let me guess. Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild. That's the reason why I bought a Wii U. A couple years ago at E3, the Electronic Entertainment Expo, Nintendo went ahead and released a trailer for the Breath of the Wild. And when I saw that trailer, I was like, new Zelda? New Me likey. I was already kind of on the fence about getting a Wii U or not because I was already kind of hating on it because it was underpowered. Sound familiar? And so I was already kind of on the fence about it. I saw this one and I thought to myself, I have to get it. I'm gonna go ahead and get the Wii U regardless, just for this game. If there's ever one game that's gonna be worth it, it's gonna be this one.
Remember when
it just looks so magnificent.
It does. Remember when GameCube was coming out? They did that too. They gave that trailer of
totally did the bait and switch.
Link fighting Gandalf in this awesome CG battle, and you're like,
Mhm.
Oh, this is awesome. GameCube is coming out with this awesome game, and what do they give us? Wind Waker. Good game,
It was a good
but
game.
not what we were expecting.
Not what we were expecting, for sure. I mean, in retrospect, it was probably a better game,
Mhm.
a longer lasting game, because the graphics still look beautiful for Wind Waker. However, we never got the game we were promised,
Squished.
and this is what's happening again. Nintendo is doing it to us again. The old bait and switch. And I mean, I'm at the point right now where I know it's unofficial. I know they haven't officially canceled it. But come on, all the leaks that have been coming out this past 6 months from
Have been pretty
out of
spot on.
Nintendo, they've been, I would say, 90% true. And I'm already down on the idea of this
It's
never
gonna
coming.
happen.
And
They're
the
gonna do
reason
it.
is they say it's because of performance problems. The Wii U is just not graphically powerful enough to be able to handle it. The target is 30 frames per second. The majority is running at 24 frames per second, with dips down to like 15 frames per second. I believe that's what I read. I don't have any sources. Sorry, guys. But
We'll just Wikipedia. We'll throw that as a
but
source.
yeah,
Not
I
true.
mean, oh, come on, Nintendo, just come on. You guys are
you would think
experts at
that you would
this.
think that they could do two versions.
It was
like,
supposed to come out early this year, like in the spring of this year. Then they delayed it to late in the year,
Then they delayed it to like early next
and
year.
then they delayed it to coincide along with the release of the Switch. So it was gonna be a dual release, kind of like Twilight Princess was. The Zelda Twilight Princess. It was gonna be, this one was supposed to release along with the Wii U. I mean, along with the Switch release and the Wii U. So it is what it is, man. It is what it is. So I'm still a little hopeful, but not too much. I'm like 10% hopeful. 10%.
The problem with that is, I mean, we're talking about, marketing, sales, and money wise, for them to do two different versions, because essentially they're just porting everything that they have now over to the Switch platform. It would be nice if they could just do kind of like a dumbed down or a watered down version,
Yeah.
whereas it wouldn't have to rely on such a high, frame rate, like you were saying.
Right.
But yes, that would basically be two different games. It's not the same game. It's essentially a different programming for each. So it's going to just take up more time, more money.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, they're just essentially, they're doing the reverse of what they did for Twilight Princess.
Twilight Princess.
Because that one was going to be exclusive for GameCube. And then they said, no, let's, not GameCube. Yeah, GameCube, right? And then they did the Wii at the same time.
Yes.
So, I mean, I guess they saw that and they said, let's not make that mistake. This is kind of essentially the reverse.
Yes.
You know what I'm
Correct.
saying? So,
Correct.
I don't know. I mean, it's a bummer. I love these games. I do have a Wii U, but I didn't purchase it because of this game. I essentially got it for my kids. So it's not that much
Which
of
is
a letdown to me.
what I should have done. Just
What
gotten
you
it for
should've
some
done.
other reason,
Hey,
not for a single game
you
that
know
wasn't
what?
even out yet.
You know what? We're gamers. I mean, don't hold it against us. But, I mean, essentially, it is what it is. And, I mean, I'm not as bummed out as you are about it. But, yes, it does kind of suck that we won't be able to see that. And I, in no way, at least as of now, do not feel like I'm going to be getting the Switch anytime soon. So, at least as of now.
Yeah, I mean, it's just something that is disappointing, you know? It's just like I don't know. I don't know what to say about it that I haven't said already. Nintendo just seems to do this, man. So,
Oh, well.
Rick, Christmas is coming up.
Yeah.
You got any special plans for the holidays?
Well, probably after Christmas. I think we're gonna try to get to Yosemite. I think we want to go.
Oh,
there.
nice.
So I really want to take the family to experience the snow. So this is gonna be it. We're gonna make it happen.
Cool. You know what? I went to Yosemite last year, and it's definitely a great experience. For those people living in California, I think it should almost be like a sin not to go to Yosemite within your lifetime. it's truly one of the beauties of this world, the natural beauties, and every time I go there, it's one of those things that that to me is just kind of breathtaking. You know, it's one of those magical places, and I truly mean magical, because every single time that I go back, I think to myself, well, I already been here, I know how it goes, I know what it's like. But no, every time I go, something changes about it, because nature is just in constant change, and it's so unpredictable, and you just never know what you're gonna get, what experience you're gonna get. Last time I went, I ran into Chuck Liddell, former UFC champion of the world.
I mean, why not have UFC fighters at the park?
Seriously, I mean, come on. I mean, time before that, I want to say I ran into a bear, not literally, but like a few feet away from me, I saw a bear, a black bear. Time before that,
Did you poke it with a stick?
ran into some deer, and it's like whoa, you know, like there's deer here. It's like it's crazy, and so I mean, it's just insane, all the different things that we get to experience here in this world. One of the things I want to do for the holidays is obviously, you know, spend the time with the family, spend the time with the kids.
Because family and kids are two different things.
Enjoy the gifts that we give. We're a Christian family, and so we celebrate our traditions from our church and all that stuff. And we also, I mean, we enjoy all the typical stuff that most people do on Christmas Day as well. And I'm also thinking, I'm hoping that we can just go ahead and travel somewhere also. Somewhere with snow. Yosemite came up, but I'm not too sure that we're quite up for it this time of the year, because I know it can come down hard up there. Yeah, a couple nights ago, I was looking at the report for Yosemite, and they were saying that it came down, you know, on the mountain part, the mountaintops, 33 inches of snow by the parts where everybody does the skiing and all that. So fresh snow for skiing. If you guys are in California, you should go check it out. I want to go ahead and thank a lot of the people that have been liking our page here. I've been trying to check them out. Let's see where they are. If you could just hold on. Rick, talk about something for a second.
Let's talk about the weather. How's the weather doing for you guys? It's pretty nice out here. It's getting colder, actually.
It's California cold.
You know what, though? I mean, the past, I'd say 5 to 6 years, I remember it getting cold, like cold. For us, cold. Prior to that, I don't remember it being like this cold. Like, I remember during this time, just a nice regular jacket, and you're good. Now it's like you have to like bundle up, like a thick jacket or 2 jackets. You got to do a scarf, a beanie kind of deal. I mean, this is freezing for us. I mean, we're talking about like 40 degrees, 30 degrees Fahrenheit. I mean, that's like freezing for us. That's not normal. I know other places probably have like below 10 degrees right now, so you stay out of this.
Okay.
But for us,
well, pretty much that's our show. I just want to end it off by thanking all the people that have been supporting us. I don't know why, and it's just kind of strange to me that we're international now. We've been having an influx of a lot of people liking our page lately. Like I would say, within the last 3 weeks or so, we've just been getting
2 to 3 weeks. Yeah.
Lots of traffic to our Facebook page, and I just want to take time to name some of those people and to say thank you. Thank you very much.
It's quite a long list.
It's a long list, and a lot of these Indians are foreign. I mean, a lot of these names are from India, and let's see. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I'll try to look too.
Sri Hardy MG, Divya S. Kumar, Gokul Shangasingam, Nidhi Koshi, GB Subin, Akarsh S, Athira Sunil. Oh, same name twice. All right, cool. Make it easy. Rosefiona Kanjirathumutli or Mutil.
Same name twice. All right.
Jishi Jishitha, Krishna Prasad, Shinshi Joni Anthony. That's a cool name. Shinisivasa Shinoy, Lakshmi Maitvan, Fabrice Vasaz Hoopers, Jilas Paijiri, Naishiro Furu, Manikandan, Manikana Shakhan, Jafer Shadik Jis, Bilamani, Shakib Shah Karelavarma, and there's more, way more. I only named maybe one quarter of the people that have just
I
recently
think
liked
daily we're getting notifications.
yeah,
and we're getting
and
likes.
this is just our way of just saying thank you to all of you that have been supporting us, all of you that have been tuning in to our shows, tuning in to our live broadcasts, to our gameplay broadcasts. We also do a lot of those as well. Francisco does a lot of the cool stuff on our website that you see. So thank you so much to all of you. I hope you all have a Merry Christmas or whatever it is that you may celebrate, because everybody does have different traditions this time of year. Thank you so much, and until next time, enjoy your games, love your families. I'm Leo, along with
Rick.
See you next time. Yeah,
Pancho.
Francisco's on vacation, by the way.
I don't know. Yeah, never mind. We're good.
Bye. See you next time. Yeah,
Pancho.
Francisco's on vacation, by the way.
I don't know. Yeah, never mind. We're good.
Bye. Francisco's on vacation, by the way.